we are going to look at between, in, like. So the between operator is used based on range values. I want something that is between 5 and 20. We are looking at range. That is when you use the between operator. While the in operator is when you are looking at a set of values, that is list of values. Then the like operator is used for pattern matching. You don't necessarily know how it was saved, but you have a likely value or alphabet or character that is in it. So that is pattern matching. Then is the null. So let's look at the between first. Let's still use this. Are you with me? Okay. So let's still use this. Where salary, where salary between 6,000 and um, 20,000. Are you with me? So I will say where salary between, okay, see, it will have given me an error. Where salary between 6,000 and 20,000. When I run this, look at how many employees did they bring out? He brought out 56 employees. The 6,000 and the 20,000 will be inclusive in what is going to return. When you look at this now, you probably see the employee. Look at 6,000. This employee is 6,000. So, and there are two of them. So if you scroll again, you will see there are 6,000 employees. So that is what that between. So between is used for range. If you are looking for between this and this, then the in operator, you can also use this between for character. Are you with me? For character. So like this name, like this first name, we can say where first name, first underscore name, where first name between, let's pick that Alexander, is case sensitive. So you have to type it the way it is. Capital letter first, then Alexander. Are you seeing what I'm doing? So between Alexander and Nina. So all the names that are between Alexander and Nina will come out. So select first name, last name, salary, hire date from employees, where first name between Alexander and Nina. So all the names that are between this A and N. Are you with me? So it's taking the A as the first. So between this A and N, it's going to return it. Now look at Nina, Lex, Alexander, Bruce. Well, how many? Let's see how many names were returned. 72 names were returned. So that is between operator. Then we will now look at the in operator. So in operator is used for to bring out query when you are talking about membership in that is list of value. So I will say I will just do this. Then I will have to put this in bracket and then put this in bracket. So I will remove this between and use in. Now I'm saying select first name, last name, salary, hire date from employees, where first name in Alexander and David. Alexander, David. Is comma, is not an. Alexander, comma, David. I can put comma again here and put Christopher. And put Christopher. I have to put it in single quote. That is why, because it's character. So now it's going to look, it will go to the database, right? It will come to this employee table. It will come here, copy everything into the database management system, and then row by row, it will start checking. Is Stephen there? No. So it will not return Stephen. So it will see Alexander. Do you have Alexander in the list? Yes. It will return Alexander. It will go again, Bruce. Do you have Bruce in the list? No, it will not return it. It will see David. Do you have David in the list? Yes, it will return David. So let's run it and see how many people will come. See, it brought out first name, Alexander, David. There's another Alexander. There's another David. There is Christopher. So we have 3 David. Is it clear to you now? So he's returning the rows based on this list. This is the list in which he's using to return the row. We can remove this and we can say select first name, last name, salary, hire date from employees, where salary in, then we'll put it in brackets, where salary in 6,000, right, comma, uh, 35,000 or 25,000, comma, 35 or 35,000. You can see that the character, the number own, I'm not putting it in a single quote. Are you with me? I'm not putting it in a single quote. So I'm going to run this. Now look at the people it returned. How many? It returned 9 names. 9 names. So this Bruce, the salary is 6,000. It will return it. Karen is 2,005. It will return it. James 2,005. You see, trainer 3,005. That is what I put. So all the people that are earning these 3 salaries, that are earning anything in this among these 3 salaries, they will all be returned. And how many are they? 9 of them. That is what the in operator is used for. We are looking at this like. That is what we want to look at. So the like. That is what you use in pattern matching. I don't know how the employee was saved. So I will say, so I'm going to say select first name, last name, salary, hire date from employees, where first name, first underscore name, like, I want you to bring out all the employees that their first name starts with S. So I will now say where first name, like, that is the work of that like. Now, there's what we call wildcard character, wildcard, like this. Wildcard character, like this, is percentage and underscore. I want to search for an employee whose first name, all the employees that their first name start with S. That is what I want. So I will say where first name, like, then, because there are characters there, so I'm going to put it in a single quote. So I'll first type my single quote. Then inside this single quote, I will type the first letter, because I know that the first letter is always capital letter. That is how it was named. That is how they are in the database. So I'll type S. Then I'll type percentage. So I'm saying all the first name that starts with S, return it. And then I will click. So it's returning 13 names. Look at Stephen, Shelley, all of them start with S. If I change it to M, all the first name that start with M, how many will it return? It returns only 6 names. Can you see that? All the first name that start with K, it returns 7 names. There are 2 symbols that you use to construct a wildcard search. 2 symbols, which is this percentage and underscore. Now, the difference between the 2 of them is that percentage represents sequence of 0 or more characters, while the underscore represents only a single character. So if I'm to put the underscore here, if I put the underscore here, I am saying that this name only has 2 characters, K and another type of character. Let's run it. Let's see if we have. Yes, we have. So you can see that only one name came, key. So because I use this underscore is a wildcard symbol that represents a single character. Now, if I say bring out employees whose first name start with first character, but the second character must be zero, must be O, like this. I did not use percentage. I use underscore here because I'm saying the first character, I don't know what it is. But the second character must be zero, must be O, letter O. Then this is how I'm going to write the query. It brought out 10. That is the second character is O. Can you see how I combine them? I combined the two wildcard, one representing the first character and then the percentage representing subsequent characters, but the second letter is O. That is how I'm combining it. So that is what these two wildcard search in the pattern matching. I can use this in the pattern matching. If I select this one, which is everybody, now look at this job ID. I want to also include it in my query, job ID, job underscore ID. Return this. You see, I include job ID. Now I want to use this job ID in my where clause. And I want to include this underscore. You can see that I told you that you have these two symbols for your wildcard, which is percentage and underscore. Just like we had that apostrophe S, that we had to use the alternative quote operator to also make the apostrophe S appear in our string literal. Same thing would apply in this place too. I want to query for employees that start with IT underscore. So meaning I also want this underscore to be part of my search. If I don't use a particular type of operator, the system will interpret this underscore as a wildcard. But I want this underscore to be part of the literal that I'm doing the search on. Are you with me? For example, if I say where job ID, let me remove this. Let me practicalize it for you to see. I want something like this. Where it was in this one. Okay, I added it here. Where job ID underscore ID, like percentage SA. Now, let's say I'm doing the IT, and I want to put it like this. If I put it like this, the system is going to interpret this, my underscore, as expecting one last character in front of the IT, right? But that is not what I want. I want this underscore to be part of the search. So I have to introduce an identifier. It is called escape identifier. That escape identifier, I can use anything, but if I use any symbol, I must state in this query that symbol I'm using is an escape identifier. So the Oracle server will know that if I'm saying that this is the escape identifier, so when it sees it, it now interprets the next character that is joined to it as a literal. So, for example, now I put this as the escape identifier. Now I have to come here and type escape. Are you with me? I am typing this escape, and I will put it in the quote that this sign that I put there is the escape identifier. So I am saying that this sign is an escape identifier. So the Oracle server is going to see this underscore as a literal, as part of this my IT. So this is it. So when I say select first name, last name, salary, hire date, job ID from employees, where job ID like IT, then escape identifier. So I'm going to run this. So he brought out, can you see? He's bringing out only employees that are IT. So IT underscore, anybody that contains IT underscore, that's what it's going to bring out. So it brought out 5 employees. We have this, which is null. Now, because when we run this one, select this, you can see this one is saying the manager ID. This person does not have, Stephen does not have manager ID, is null. Then conversion percentage also null. Now, since null does not is an unknown value, so you cannot use any other sign like equals to for it. So the way you are going to write the query to bring out any employee that does not have manager ID, I can say where manager ID, manager underscore ID is null, then I terminate. So if I run it, it's giving me just one employee, Stephen. Stephen does not have manager ID. Now, if I want to include that manager ID in this to return it as part of the column, so I'll type manager underscore ID. Now, when I run it now, it's going to bring it. You can see manager ID is null. So that is how you use the is null. You cannot say where manager ID equals to null. Rather, the operator that you use is null. Then there's another one which is not null. So if I say is not null, it's going to return all the employees. It will return 106 employees. Is not null. Where manager ID is not null. So you see, now how many employees is it returning? You see, it returned 106 because we have only one employee who does not have manager. So this is how you use the operators in the where clause to be able to regulate the return rows that you want.